name's Cindy Williams, and this is Bliss to Abundance. I am your host, and I started in the travel industry way back in the 90s, and I have a passion for three things: amazing coffee mugs, crazy earrings, and travel. And my purpose in life is to help others follow their bliss into abundance. If travel's not your thing, that's totally cool. You'll still get some value out of our content here. But if you are thinking about getting in the travel industry, you're in the travel industry, you run a team, wherever you are in your travel journey, my goal is to best support you and bring you valuable content to help you grow. So I see people are still logging on. Welcome, welcome. I always share my fun little coffee mug. So how cute is this little guy? Right? My kids got that for me for Christmas a couple years, and it's in my collection. I don't think we've showed that one, or at least not recently on the show. So at any rate, today we're talking about a super hot topic. To fee or not to fee, that is the question. When you are in the travel industry, sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't to implement fees. And this is a really hard thing for new agents and sometimes even experienced agents, because they just don't know how to have the conversation with the client, how to introduce a fee. If introducing a fee, they're worried it's going to cost you business. So it's balancing all of these things around fees. Like some agents do it, some don't, and there's, controversy on the whys. So I thought I would just, share my thoughts about fees and give you guys some really good things to think about to see if it makes sense for your custom agency, because everybody's agency is a little bit different. So before we jump into the content, if you are listening to this on our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff, iHeartRadio, sometimes I show you guys things. So remember, you can also see this content on YouTube. You can also watch it on our TV show Bliss to Abundance on the Raven International Network, on Amazon, and on Roku, and soon to be Apple TV. It's an announcement coming soon. But if you want to catch it later, the replays are always posted there. So let's talk about fees. What are we going to cover? Do I charge a fee? We're going to cover really three basic things. The first thing is, should you charge fees at your agency? Does it make sense to do that? Should you charge fees? Second thing we're going to talk about is, will charging fees cost you clients? And you might be surprised by the answer, but we're absolutely going to dig into that. And then we're also going to talk about how fees can actually attract more luxury clients. And you're going, Cindy, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? No, I'm not. It works. And I'm going to share the deets today. So should you charge fees at your agency? Let's start there. The first thing you should do is really do an assessment of where your business is today. You interact with clients on a regular basis. What I want you to ask yourself is, do you have a lot of tire kickers in your world? Are they wasting your time? Do you have a ton of tire kickers that are just having you run quotes? There's nothing worse than, you get excited and you're like, oh, this person wants to go here, and you do all this work and all this research, and then boom, they disappear, they ghost you, that you don't know where they went sometimes, right? And then you're angry because you lost that time away from your family, away from your kids. Like there's other stuff you could have been doing, and you're literally working for free, right? So do you have a lot of that in your world? Is that happening to you a lot today? So make that part of your assessment. The second thing is, are clients ghosting you? Do you do the work? You send them the information. You never hear from them until you see the pictures on their Facebook feed posted from the vacation that they should have booked with you, right? How irritating is that? So do you have people that are ghosting you, or you send quotes and you're like, what happened? Where did they go? And you're racking your brain going, what did I do wrong in this process? And then the last thing is, two more things, sorry. The next one is, do you do a lot of work on non-commissionable items? Are you booking domestic airline tickets for people where you're not getting paid because in the hopes of a future day, they may come back to you for another vacation? In other words, are you working for free? Are you doing stuff for free right now? Right? So if you're having a lot of yeses to these answers so far, we're going to get into the good stuff here in a second. The last one is, do you offer customer concierge services? So for those of you who really do high-end travel, or even if you just do Disney, there's extra services and concierge things that you're probably doing for clients. If you're doing those things, are you charging for your time? Or are you working for free, right? So just let that go through that assessment piece. Ask yourself those questions in your world today. And if you have a lot of yeses out of those 4 things that I just asked, then we want to move into the next one. Jennifer's posting a comment here. She works for a company that makes us charge $25. I feel it's unfair to give the fee back to my clients, and so she gives the fee back in a Disney or onboard credit. So yeah, and Jen, lots of people do different things in terms of how you set up your fee structure, and we'll definitely get into that too. But if you're saying yes to a lot of these things and you're like, I feel like I'm wasting my time, I'm working for free, people aren't valuing my time, I'm doing all the work and then they're walking away, and you're like, how am I ever going to make money at this business? And it's overwhelming. Like, it makes you want to quit, right? Because no one wants to work for free. We can't afford to work for free. Most of us have kids or families or car payments or house mortgages and all that good stuff. We have bills to pay. So how are you going to make money from this business? So don't take it personal. But you guys have heard me say on other calls, take radical responsibility for where you are right now. Don't take it personal. Try not to get frustrated, although I know how frustrating it is when you have clients that do that to you. Your job as the CEO of your business, as the boss of your business, is to fix your process. Decide what you have to do differently, whether it's setting stronger expectations or implementing fees. What are you going to have to do differently to eliminate this chaos out of your business, to eliminate you wasting your time? And that's why sometimes fees make sense, sometimes they don't. But do the assessment piece and then know that whatever the result of the assessment is, it's your job to fix it. You're the boss. But that also, like, let that be empowering, because you can fix it. You don't have to go through another entity or get approval. If you are your own company, and if you are, whether you're a solo travel agent, unless you work for someone else, and then like Jen, she's restricted to someone else's rules. But if you're running your own agency or you're just working from home as a solo shop, you can decide whenever you want to make policy changes or to make adjustments. So just know that's part of your tough job of being the boss, right? So here's the thing. Some agents feel like they need to be the cheapest. People would never pay me a fee. Why would they pay me a fee? They can book on the internet. They can do this. So what they do is they present themselves as, I'm the cheaper option. I'm the less expensive option. I work for free for you. And these are things that you see in their messaging. Whether you charge a fee or not, understand that how you message and how you state those things, whether it's in online, in your content, in conversations with people, there are other things that can be derived or come of that messaging. So what do I mean by that? 2 things happen when you are presenting and putting messaging out there that says, I'm the free, I'm the cheapest, I'm the least expensive. One is your mindset is from a place of lack. There's not enough clients, there's not enough money, people would never pay me a fee. We learn this in wealth consciousness. Like, if you've ever taken a wealth consciousness course, you like attracts like. So when you talk about the things that you don't do, that, you're telling the clients, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do this. Where is the opportunity to tell them what you do? When you present the can'ts or the cheapest, that can be kind of a slippery slope. So what do I mean by that? Like, if you put out the messaging, you're saying, I am willing to work with anyone, right? Come work with me. Come and I'm going to help you no matter what, because I'm the freest, I'm the cheapest, I'm the whateverest. And I want to use like an example that's not travel related, because what you're willing to invite in your business, what you're willing to put up with, is going to be what's going to come into your experience, and what you subconsciously or consciously are really attracting. What you think about, you bring about. Like attracts like. So if you're in this mindset of lack, no one would do this, I have to scramble for clients, then that's the ones that are going to come. So let's do a non-travel example. Like, everybody's had a bad boyfriend or girlfriend, right? like that person who didn't value you, they didn't get you, they wasted your time, whatever, it just wasn't a fit, right? You invested time and energy in this person, but at some point there was a straw that broke the camel's back where you said, ugh, I'm not going to put up with this crap anymore. I am not willing to have this type of relationship. And that's a very personal one, right? So at some point all of us have had that sticky breakup where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that again. Or once I saw it, once it was clear, and let it go. And what happens when you let that person go in that experience and you consciously decide, I am not going to settle. I am not going to settle for less in my relationships anymore. Maybe some of you have done this super successful in your love life and in your marriages, but you have to mirror that same process in your business. So understanding what you're willing to accept and deciding that you are not willing to deal with tire kickers, that you are not willing to give your time away freely, can be a very empowering thing, because when you shut off that faucet of people wasting your time, all of a sudden your energy shifts and now you have time for people who are better, more valuable, higher ticket clients. So it's a real, it's a conundrum, right? Because you have to be willing to say that. And if you don't have any clients yet, that's the hardest part, because you're like, Cindy, it seems so counterintuitive. How can I turn away business? Well, if they were going to waste your time anyway, was it really worth it? That first time that you turn away a tire kicker, whether it's with a fee or setting expectations, and they go, well, okay, it's not a fit, and you realize you just got 4 or 5 hours of your life back and you don't have to deal with that situation, that's time you can spend on marketing or going after targeting better clients. And it becomes kind of like when you break up with a bad boyfriend or the bad girlfriend. It becomes empowering, like, I made that decision. I'm not gonna settle for less, and a shift happens. That's what you're trying to accomplish. So that's the first thing, the whole mindset piece around, what are you willing to invite into your business? The second one is, what is presenting yourself as the cheapest or free? What does it do that you don't realize? Oh, this is juicy stuff. So if your messaging says, I don't do this, I don't do this, I don't do this, it leaves people wondering, okay, well that's amazing. It's free. They give away their time. I can use their time for free. But you also aren't spending time telling them what you do, right? It also sends a subtle hint of desperation. I need clients, so I do all this stuff. I do this and I do this and I do this. If you're, or I don't do this, right? So it sends that subtle hint that you need clients. People who are in demand, people who are highly regarded, don't ever chase clients, right? And so again, and that comes from that whole, like, what vibe are you putting out there? Because that's going to equal who comes back into your business. So the next thing is, when you're in that place, it also says, I give away my time for free. In other words, I don't value my time, and you don't have to either. You are inviting people to come in and say, hey, I work for free. I do all this for free. I love it. It's great. You're inviting them to waste your time, whether you realize it or not. And that, of course, that's not your intention, but in your messaging, if people see that and then you're attracting the wrong clients, they are going to take your invitation and they are going to come and waste your time. So that's a tough one, but let that resonate for a second, right? And on a side note, guys, I'm not saying you have to charge a fee, but advertising the fact that you don't charge fees, screaming it from the rooftops, that is not creating the impact that you think it is, right? So whether you charge fees or not, think about your messaging and how you present that and how you put it out in the world. Next up, we are going to talk about how fees can actually attract more luxury clients. So we're going to have a quick commercial break, and we'll be back in just a second.
Meg loves to travel. She's tired of her stressful job and wishes she could have her own travel business. Meg heard travel agents get amazing discounts and work from home or while they travel. This sounds perfect, but Meg has no idea where to start. Meg is worried she will fail because she's never worked in travel, and launching a business is overwhelming. That's when Meg found Careers on Vacation, which taught Meg everything she needed to launch her portable, profitable travel business. Meg got to work with industry expert Cindy Williams and the Careers on Vacation team to launch her travel business in just weeks. Now Meg is helping families book dream vacations, earning amazing commissions, and traveling the world. Meg is so grateful she found Careers on Vacation.
Welcome back, and we are talking about fees today. We are going to dive into how having fees, or at least strong expectations, can actually attract more luxury clients. When I work with, when clients work with me, they hire me, they go through my Careers on Vacation mastermind because they are trying to do really one thing. They're trying to make more money in less time. I mean, really, that's everybody's goal, right? They want to attract more luxury clients. Would you rather sell, if your goal is to sell $40,000 in travel this month, would you rather sell 4 $10,000 trips, or would you rather sell 8 $5,000 trips? Well, 4 trips and dealing with 4 clients is way less work than dealing with 8. So of course you'd want to sell 4 and just make them bigger ticket. So luxury clients are key to more work-life balance, more abundance with less effort. So that's what we're all looking for, right? So where do I start with my clients when they come into our Careers on Vacation program? The first thing I like to do is we do a private call, but we do an assessment. And we really say, like, what is your brand out there doing right now? What is it saying? What does it look like? What might we need to tweak or change? And the goal is always to eliminate that tire kicker out of their environment and to invite more luxury clients. That's a goal for all of us, right? So what can you do? What are some things that you can do? First thing is, I want you to recognize getting into the mindset of your client is everything. From a luxury client's point of view, get into their mind. When you say, I don't charge a fee, when you say, I'm the cheapest, my services are free, what a luxury client is thinking, and step back a second, like luxury clients, these are people who value time and convenience above everything. They drive the nicest cars, they live in fancy houses, they have maid service, they have lawn service, they have CPAs to do their taxes, and they value quality. So when they see free, cheapest, I don't charge XYZ, what they're thinking is, maybe there's a reason they don't charge a fee. You get what you pay for. Oh, that's a tough one, because I know you guys are doing a good job and you're not meaning to send this message. They might think, well, they must be inexperienced, they have to start somewhere, so that's why they're doing that. From a luxury client standpoint, that can be the mental track that they kind of go through. The secret with luxury clients is they value time and convenience above everything. They value quality, they value expertise, and outside of time being the most important thing to them, they value working with the best. They work super, super hard. They have a lot of money. They want to make sure if they're going to take time away from their lives and spend money to go on an amazing luxury vacation, that it's going to be good. So they want, just like they hire a CPA to do their taxes so they have a good result, and a professional cleaning service that's insured and bonded so they're protected, the same thing, they want to hire the best. So be the best. Present yourself as the best. That makes a world of difference. Free is like almost an insult to their lifestyle. Like, why would I use someone who's free? Like, I'm looking for someone amazing to handle my $40,000 safari to Africa, right? So because they hate wasting their time, they also respect people that value their time. So think about that. If you present yourself as someone whose time must be respected, they respect that. They get that. You have almost instant credibility because you say, here's how I work. And when I do a travel call and I'm working with a client, I get their information, I qualify them, and I go into, right before I go into the expectation piece, I get them all excited about their trip, and then I go, Great, that's awesome, Mr. Smith. So here's how I work. And then I proceed to lay out my expectations as we're going to work together. And sometimes that includes a fee and sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the scope of work. So all of this to say, even if you don't want to charge a fee, you have to be cautious of your messaging. If you do want to charge a fee, I think it's a great way to eliminate tire kickers and to stand in your truth of, I am going to start valuing my time. I am not going to work for free anymore. So what can you do today to kind of start your journey on this process? I would say the first thing and most important is adjust your messaging. Do your assessment first and say, you know, where am I in the scope of new agent, experienced agent, you know, knowing that more luxury agencies, we're charging fees. Like, we do that because we don't have time to work with people wasting our time. Our time's way too valuable. But do the assessment piece that we talked about at the top of the hour first. Secondly, adjust your messaging immediately. If you realize you're doing this and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how that could be perceived from a luxury client's perspective. So, you know, people tell me all the time, I want more luxury clients. Cindy, I want more luxury clients. This is one of the steps, one of the many steps that you can do to start that transition of going down a path of attracting more luxury people. And then decide what are your new boundaries going to be? Are you going to have expectation talks with your client? Are you going to start introducing fees? And by the way, there's a lot of different ways to implement fees. There's plan to book fees where they get the money back. There's a straight up fee to make sure they're not wasting your time. There's you know, consulting or a planning fee or group fees. There's all kinds of different fees and ways that you can monetize your agency. There's two reasons to have fees. One of them is the most important, I think, is to get people out of your environment you don't want to work with. The other one is to make your agency more profitable. And for me, because I have a team of agents who work for me, I don't want them to get burnt out and waste their time. So implementing a fee, even if it's a small one, saves them hours and they don't quit in 3 or 4 months because people are just ghosting them and disappearing. And guys, listen, if introducing fees, grandfathering them into your clients, getting a monetizing process in line for your agency, the other thing you can really do is, if you're not already, apply for the Careers on Vacation Mastermind. Fees, monetizing, talk tracks, making your agency more profitable. This topic today is just one of dozens of things that we teach you in our program to make sure you are growing your agency to that 6 figures and beyond mark, which is, yay, where we want to be. But not just that. It's not just about the money. It's also, today is about time. If you can get to that 6 figures with way less clients, wouldn't you rather do that to make your life balance so much more amazing? So I invite you to apply for that. We are super tight on space. We are getting ready to waitlist. Just before this call, we had 3 new people that got accepted into the program. So that's amazing. Congratulations to you guys. I can't wait to work with you. But since the launch of the TV show, we're busy. We're super busy. So if you are thinking about going through it now or in the summertime, don't wait to book your call with the team, careersonvacation.com/ready now. And guys, no matter what, I wish you so much love and abundance. I see that there's a million comments. I'm going to go back later and I'm going to read every single one, because I would love to hear, you know, you contributing to the conversation and from your perspective, how you feel about it. And if this video can help someone and other agents out there, please feel free to share. My goal, like I said at the beginning of this call, is to help inspire you guys to follow your bliss into abundance. You can follow your bliss all day long, but unless it's making your family money, like that's the goal. So I always try to bring great value in these calls. So I wish you guys so much love, so much abundance. I wish you the world. Thanks for tuning in today, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. My name is Cindy Williams, and I am your host. This is Bliss to Abundance. If this is your first live stream, welcome. And if you don't know me, I'm Cindy Williams. I'm known as the Wanderlust CEO, and oh my gosh, we have new shirts. Do you guys love these shirts? I don't know if you can see the logo, but we have new fun shirts over at the office here. So my name is Cindy Williams. I started in the travel industry way back in the 90s. In fact, I'm celebrating my 25-year anniversary, so that's super exciting. And I run this amazing group called Careers on Vacation, which is my beautiful travel tribe to help educate and advocate for travel professionals all over the world, whether you're an aspiring travel professional, whether you're experienced, or whether you are scaling your agency to super heights. That's what we do over at Careers on Vacation, the program, not to be confused with the group, but we help people launch, run, and supersize their portable, profitable travel businesses all over the world. So, but this is our weekly live stream, and I'm actually going live in the group this week because this week's topic that we already had planned seems to be a giant source of conversation in the group. So I'm going right to the source. So first and foremost, before we get started, if you haven't been on the live stream before, I always share a couple of things. Besides having a huge passion for travel, I have a huge passion for crazy earrings and coffee mugs. And today we have this cute little Paris one. Can you guys see that? So I always bring my fun coffee mug, and yes, I get thirsty during the live stream. So this is just a casual convo to help you guys. And today's topic is so relevant to what you guys are asking. We get hundreds of emails that say, Cindy, how should I start my agency? Cindy, who's a good host? Cindy, I'm overwhelmed. Cindy, I'm so confused. I really have this passion to run a travel business, but where the heck do I get started? So literally this week alone, we've received so many emails. A lot of people teachers and whatnot are out for the summer, but this is always a big source of topic in this group, because a lot of people coming into the group are aspiring and wanting to get into the industry. So I thought I would put together this cool live stream. It's called So You Want to Be a Travel Agent. And I wanted to share with you the top 3 mistakes that I see people make that absolutely kill their business before it even gets off the ground. So you can avoid those, right? That's the whole goal. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you 3 totally free things that you can do to make sure you get started in the right way. And again, for those of you that are new, I don't host anyone. I have my own portable, profitable travel agency, award-winning travel agency that I run. We do not hire, recruit, or solicit out of this group in any way, shape, or form. So the information that we bring to you in this group is objective. I want you to make the best choice for you. When I work with my mastermind clients, I always say, I don't work for any host, I work for you. And we sit down and have a conversation about what their goals are and help them match and figure out what their setup would be. So we're doing that in a virtual form for you today for free. So at any rate, where do we want to start? I mean, as you guys have questions too, please let me know, because I know there was like a huge feed. Oh, Karen, one of our grads is on, and she's like, so thankful I found you early on. Karen is actually one of the graduates of our Careers on Vacation. So good morning, good morning. I like your wee from the from the coffee mug. So yeah, so I'm gearing up for quick story, and then we're gonna get right into like these 3 things, right? But we're gearing up for a month-long trip to Disney World. And for those of you who are brand new, that may seem like, oh my gosh, how would you ever afford to go to Disney for a whole month or spend your summer in Paris or Disney or Hawaii or all these places that we go and do extended stays in? And the answer is because we have a business we can kind of take on the road with us. It didn't start that way, right? So went through a lot of hard knocks, went through a long learning process. I ran another business, but now we're in this beautiful place where I can just go, hey, honey, do you want to work from Florida this summer? So we decided, so we're gearing up for this huge trip, and you guys can follow that over on YouTube. We'll be posting some stuff here, but we get that question like, how would you do that? Well, you have to be able to have your business in a place where it sustains your lifestyle. So I'm in my travel business, of course, full-time, and we have our travel school, Careers on Vacation, but my husband is also full-time in the business, And that's what allows us to travel. So that's one of those cool things. Like, think about for yourself today, like if there's somewhere you could just go for the summer, or there's somewhere that you could go, tell me below, like tell me in the feed. I want to know. I'm watching over here on Facebook. The comments are a little bit delayed because we stream out to YouTube and also in a webinar in a couple different places. But tell me, where would you go if you could spend a month anywhere and work and still make money and still have your business fully operational? Tell me where that would be. Now, if you are aspiring, I know you're super excited. I know you're overwhelmed. And you may even be new and already set up, but frustrated and overwhelmed. These are all common emotions, so take a deep breath. When you're new in the industry, it can be super overwhelming, and that's why we try to do a lot of advocacy and education, provide you guys with resources on the screw. So what is the number one thing, the number one mistake that I see people make, or I see clients that come to me and go, oh my gosh, here's the problem I'm having. The number one thing is people pick the wrong host, right? So, and I want to start with like, what is hosting? Because if you're new, and I was in the travel business before hosting was even a thing, right? Like, I went to traditional travel school in the 90s. I worked for one of the biggest travel companies in the world, worked my way up through the ranks. At its height, had 150 people that reported to me in a call center environment. And so that was pre-host. That was pre 9/11. After 9/11, the industry changed a little bit, and a lot of it, and commissions got taken away for airlines and things like that. So the travel industry kind of restructured. The mom and pop agencies kind of phased out. The bigger shops made it through being resilient and doing some online resources. But there is, the beautiful thing is, there's a huge reemergence of travel agents being able to work from home and take their businesses anywhere they want. But the way that they do it is through this process called hosting. But what people don't understand, so what is a host? Let me start there. For those of you who are like brand new, let's ABC this, right? Michelle says Maui, Cairns, Disney World. Yes, I love it, guys. So what is a host, and what does a host really do? So number one, if you're aspiring, a host is, I want you to think about it like this. A host is responsible for turning on your travel logons and handling the accounting. Basically, a host already has licensing. Sometimes they have insurance, sometimes they don't, and they bring you on as what's called an I-9 contractor. So you're in a contractor position. It is not the traditional agency where you're going to get mentoring and support and training. It is a relationship where they say, hey, we can turn you on as a travel agent. Tomorrow you can have logins and go ahead and sell travel. Their job and responsibility is not to help you grow your business. It is not to give you clients. It is not to give you mentoring. Some of them do some supplier training. Some of them do some other trainings, which is nice. That's great here and there. But you're a contractor to them. They cannot require you to train. They cannot require you to work certain hours. And they certainly do not deliver leads to you. They're not going to give you clients and go, here's some people that want travel. You are your own business underneath their infrastructure. So they're kind of like a back-end office, right? They're like a big brother. That's where you go to get your login information, get your passwords, and when you sell, the commission does not come to you, it goes to them. And then there is a shared commission based on your host. Some hosts have reasonable splits, some hosts have horrible splits, and that's another reason it's a big mistake that people make. They come to me and go, Cindy, well, my split is 50-50, and I'm like, ugh. That's horrible. Like, how are you going to market and grow your business if you're selling travel and you're doing all this work and you're giving 50% of your profits away? That's very difficult. What we specialize in is getting people to run 6-figure businesses and beyond. So you're going to have to work 20, 30, 40% higher than everyone else under different structures. So this is why understanding two things about the hosting relationship. One, be clear about their role. They are not the answer and the be-all, end-all, or anything that's going to make you successful to scale your business, grow your business, do those pieces. It's not their responsibility. So if you understand that from the beginning and have a good expectation, it's much easier going in. Teresa says, you're living my dream. We have another Maui. I love that. You guys keep telling me where you would go if you had an entire month that you could work from anywhere. So, but understanding the relationship with a host is it's not really their job to make you successful. You are still your own business owner. You are still a contractor. The cool thing is you set your own hours. You get to scale your business. But there's one more layer I want to talk about with hosting. Besides signing up for a really bad commission split, there's two other big mistakes that can happen. One is you get with a company that doesn't let you put your identity on their brand. So if you can't, you have to use their logos and you have to use their websites and you have to put all of your client data through their stuff. That can be restrictive if your end game is to grow your own agency and go independent. Right? I said at the top of this call, like, I don't work for any host, I work for you. So if you go independent, you get 100% of your commission, all those things. But hosting is still a good thing because a lot of you are not ready. You have no idea what you just stepped into and the learning that has to happen and the mistakes that you have to make. So I am an advocate of hosting, but with the right match based on what your goals are. The other thing that can happen, and I'm not going to get into a 45-minute fight online. I love you guys, and I love everyone with love, and we had a huge feed this morning blow up. But the other thing that can happen is you can get in with one of these MLM groups. And I've made other videos about MLM. You can go to YouTube and watch my thoughts on it. We're not going to get into a deep conversation, but what an MLM, multi-level marketing company is they are a recruiting shop. So you get bonus on growing your team and adding people. It is a membership model. So if you get in with one of those, in terms of the support relationship, it is a different structure. So I want you to be clear on that. And yes, I don't recommend MLMs. So that's one of those things where when you guys post online, this is hard to monitor in the group, y'all, because we do allow MLMs right now in the group to participate, because I've had a lot of clients that have come to us and they have transitioned out of MLMs and are now running amazing big businesses and are better for it. So we do allow, because this group is about education and support and wherever you are. But the flip side of that is whenever we have a post come through and it's like, I'm new, we have 15, 20 people are like, oh, use this code, oh, and because I know that it's not the best particular fit for what the person's original post is, it's really difficult to monitor that. But we don't allow soliciting in the group, and that's one of those things where I want you to educate yourself and make a good choice. So that's all. Pros on hosting is they help you when you're new. You have kind of that structure. They'll get your logins. You don't have to do all the licensing, all of that stuff. But finding that right match where you have a fair commission split, where it is a match for your business and your needs, and avoiding some of these other ones is really, really important. Because all the time, guys, we get so many requests for applications in the Careers on Vacation program, and we always say, how are you set up? And let's talk about what your goals are and how you're set up, and see if we can make, our job is to help you make the most amount of money in the least amount of time. So can we do that under your existing structure? Sometimes the answer is absolutely. And sometimes the answer is, you're going to have to work harder than everyone else if you stay under this model. So making a good choice. And at the end of this call, I'm going to give you a link and where we tell you the top 10 hosts reviewed by, not me, reviewed by travel agents around the world. So we're going to give that to you at the end of the call. So hang out for that. But that's the number one mistake that I see, is people get into the wrong situation because they didn't know what they were doing, and it just makes it tough. Mary says she has her own agency. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the other thing. When I say that there's a difference between MLMs that are recruiting just to recruit, so they're collecting that membership money, and people who are actual travel agencies. There are some, what I would call smaller hosts, and we've worked with lots of our clients that say, okay, Cindy, I'm a super agent now, I'm doing this great stuff, now I want to grow and start hosting my own agents, where they're smaller agencies and they have sometimes more unique setups that can be supportive. So that's kind of a cool feature too, because growing a team the right way and in a supportive way can be a beautiful, amazing thing for an owner that's ready to do that. But on the traditional hosting, what most of you guys are seeing online, they have 600, 800, 1,000 people. So again, remember, accounting and logins, that's what you can count on. As long as you go in with that expectation, anything else is like a cherry on top. All right, so the next mistake that people make is they get super excited. They're like, yeah, I want to be in the travel industry. I want to be like Cindy, and I want to go to Florida for a month. I want to work from Hawaii. I want to have this amazing life. Cindy didn't build this life, right, in 15 minutes. This is a lifetime of being in the industry, making all the mistakes and getting it into such a dialed in routine where I know how to market, I know how to automate, I know how to monetize. It's a beautiful little process, but it is not, the expectation wise, a lot of times people get into this business and go, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have that business, but I have a hobby budget, right? Like first of all, there's nothing wrong with having a hobby business. Most people start with a hobby and then they transition it. But even setting up your hobby business the right way can make a world of difference to how fast you can transition. So what I want you guys to think about is like a 6-figure travel business, you have to sell $1 million+ of travel, around $1 million if you're independent, $1.2 million or $1.3 million if you are sharing with a host on a 20 or 30% split. So in order to do that, if you break that down, that's something like $80,000 or $90,000 a month in travel you need to sell. So in order to generate that much in sales, you better have leads coming in on demand. You better have a real marketing plan. You better know what you're doing when the call gets to you to close the sales. So it is a process that requires a budget and time. And that's one of those things, like if your appetite is really to do it at that full scale, you need to be realistic. If you're doing a hobby and you have the time to grow over time, that's totally cool. So I want you to ask yourself, like, am I willing to put in the time? Am I willing to invest in myself and my business to grow? And which am I willing to sacrifice, time or money? Because you can still build a 6-figure travel business without putting a lot of upfront investment in, but you have to be prepared to go through years of learning curve, years of building your base. And a lot of my awesome clients that come to me that already have a 6-figure business are like, Cindy, I want to do the next thing now. They built their businesses on a referral basis over 3, 5, 7, 10 years. That's a long time. Like, I'm super impatient. So but you have to decide, do you want to build it slow and steady, and give yourself the permission really to make mistakes and throw money at stuff and, have that happen. Or if you want to do it fast, you're going to have to part with some resources to put some things in place, training, hire a mentor, take a program, because you have 2 jobs, right? In this business. One is you're getting excited, you want to travel, you want to learn how to be a travel agent. That's your first job. You have to learn how to be a great travel agent. That job alone requires commitment, time, and learning. And that's the first piece. The second piece is you need to learn how to run an online travel business. When you do that piece of the learning how to run an online travel business, that's when the 2 can marry each other and you can see the bigger abundance. That's just how it works. So and we have a masterclass, by the way. You guys, we totally have like a free masterclass you can take. careersonvacation.com/masterclass. Totally free. It literally goes over the 5 shifts to take your travel business to 6 figures and beyond, the stuff that we train our clients. So check that out. That's like an hour-long resource we put together long time ago. So those are available. We host those. And it's free. So you can find out and you can ask yourself, like, where do you want to be? So the other piece is the last piece, and the number 3 mistake that I see people make. And remember, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you some free resources, so don't worry, it's not all bad news. The number 3 is people are really over optimistic about their ability to generate business, to generate leads, to get business on the books. We just said, hey, to do 6 figures, you got to be selling X amount, right? So if you're selling, 50, 70, 80, 90,000 a month, how many clients are you going to have to produce? Well, depending on what you sell, in your average trip cost, that tells you exactly how many clients you need to have to make those numbers. But what happens, here's the cycle of what usually happens. Like, you guys are, for those of you who haven't started yet, you're really excited and everything is new and bright and shiny. And I want you to be excited. I want you to stay excited because this industry is awesome. If you know what you're doing and how to do it, and once you get it rocking, it is an amazing lifestyle. Like, there's no doubt about it. So I want you to stay excited, but I want you to be realistic too. Because what happens is you get excited, you jump on the first thing you see, or you go in and, get with a bad host, or, hopefully we'll avoid that with the free tool we're going to give you at the end of this call. But what usually happens is you get excited, and let's say you get in with a good host. Awesome. You get set up. So everything's set up. You tell all your friends and family, oh my gosh, I'm opening Cindy's travel agency. And you go set up a couple social media pages. You send out an email. You mail everybody some magnets or a letter and let them know. And then you sit back and wait for all the calls to come in. And what happens? Crickets. And I don't mean to laugh, but this is what happens, because people do all of the learning and they do all of the excitement. They spend all the time and energy getting what they think is the best plan set up and ready. So you're ready to take calls. You're feeling confident maybe about taking calls. You've done some supplier training and things like that. But if you don't generate the leads, then you're sitting there with crickets. And what happens? One of three things happen. You quit because you're like, no one's calling me for my travel business. This sucks. This doesn't work. Blah, 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 blah. And Latasha's asking for the masterclass link. We're going to post it, Latasha. Don't worry. We'll get it for you. Hey, Alexis from Clearwater. I see you guys all popping in, so thank you for your comments. Again, tell me where you would go with your month. I want to hear that. So one of three things happens when the cricket moment happens. You end up super frustrated. You did all this work, and now you're like, oh my gosh, like, how do I book trips? How do I make some business? So you quit and feel like it didn't work. It just, you still love travel. You still have that wanderlust. And some people just quit because they feel like it doesn't work. And that's how it ends. The other scenario that happens is people are like, I'm going to make this work. And they have a great attitude. And I love that. And then they spend an average of 3, 5, 7 years on going out and throwing spaghetti at the wall and like, let me try this, let me search every thread about where people are having problems, and they're getting advice from people who don't have real travel businesses, or they're getting it, maybe they do, but is the advice right for them in their local market? I don't know. You go out searching for the free stuff thinking, I'm going to DIY it, I'm going to put it together. And like, if you're going to do it that way, I'm not saying you can't. Businesses have been built that way, but you have to recognize it's going to take way more time, and you have to give your permission to have failure after failure after failure, so you can do all the things that don't work, so you can figure out the things that do work, because this industry is complicated, right? There's lots of layers. So that's the other thing. And duct taping it, all that good stuff. The last thing is, and people do this last step, sometimes they do it at the beginning, and sometimes they do it after years of frustration. It just depends on you and your personal journey. But they actually get help. So they're like, oh my gosh, I love this travel thing. I want to do it big style, or I want to do my hobby business the right way from the beginning so I can transition faster into having this life full time. So either you do it from the beginning, or finally when you get through those points of frustration where you've tried everything else and your business is still not growing, it's still not working. Sometimes you do have some, $20,000, $30,000 worth of sales, but you're trying to get to the next level. You reach that point of frustration where you cannot generate the leads and you can't grow your business, then you get help. So at that point, you either do something like careersonvacation.com, apply for that, or go through our program if we have spots available, or you reach out to some other mentor. And look, if I'm not the mentor for you, like, no hard feelings. You can still come and be part of this group. Find someone that is doing what you want to do. Find someone who has the big business. Find someone that motivates and inspires you and that you resonate with. And whether they have a program or whatever they have, sometimes you have to invest in yourself to take your business to the next level. So ask yourself, are you willing to sacrifice resources, or do you want to sacrifice time? There's no wrong answers, guys. It just depends on like who you are as a person. So that's totally fine. Belinda says, so true. Please send me the link. Yes, everyone's asking for the link. I'm going to send you the links, I promise. So if you don't want to waste time, and you want to be handed a roadmap, you want to make sure you're set up properly from the beginning, right? You want to learn how to do marketing from day one. You want to learn how to monetize, how to automate. That's why we built Careers on Vacation. So definitely give that a consideration if you feel a connection and if that resonates with you and if you want to start. And then I'm going to give you some free resources too. So if you want to apply for the Careers on Vacation program, we are literally already sold out for June and most of July. You can apply by going to careersonvacation.com/ready now. And I'm also going to give you some free resources. So for Latasha and everyone else that's asking in the feed, the masterclass, careersonvacation.com/masterclass. We have some sessions happening today. You can grab a seat and get in there. And I have one other link for you. So at the very first thing we talked about was hosting. We have a really cool free guide. You can get the guide. It's called How to Select a Reputable Host. It also talks about and goes into more detail about a host role and your responsibility in understanding the relationship, and goes through the top picks as voted on by the travel agency community. And it also shares like the ones to avoid, and how we selected the ones to avoid are public companies have to share their information. So we went and pulled and said, show us who's making money. So careersonvacation.com/free gift for the reputable host guide, and that will help you guys with that. So listen, wherever you guys are on your journey, I want to just wish you so much love and abundance. I know it's overwhelming at the beginning. I know there's a ton of information. We also have a YouTube channel, the Cindy Williams YouTube channel. You can go over and subscribe and click the little notification bell. We do continued education over there to help educate you guys on the industry, and so you can make great choices as you move forward. And if you are looking to supersize, reach out and we'd love to work with you or talk to you with our free discovery process. If nothing else, it's really just to get you clear on what your goals are and your fastest path to seeing that abundance in your travel business without wasting time and years and all that good stuff. But wherever you guys are, I wish you so much love and abundance, and I wish you the world. As a last little reminder, we are not doing the live streams in July. I know I'm going to miss you guys, but I will be streaming from Florida, from Disney World, from Universal, from all over the place. We're going to be doing all kinds of cool stuff over on YouTube, so make sure you subscribe over there. I wish you guys the best. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Meg loves to travel. She's tired of her stressful job and wishes she could have her own travel business. Meg heard travel agents get amazing discounts and work from home or while they travel. This sounds perfect, but Meg has no idea where to start. Meg is worried she will fail because she's never worked in travel, and launching a business is overwhelming. That's when Meg found Careers on Vacation, which taught Meg everything she needed to launch her portable, profitable travel business. Meg got to work with industry expert Cindy Williams and the Careers on Vacation team to launch her travel business in just weeks. Now Meg is helping families book dream vacations, earning amazing commissions, and traveling the world. Meg is so grateful she found Careers on Vacation.